Welcome to the next installment of the Train we got. Today I want to talk about children and rail. As you know, I'm quite enthusiastic about railways and my children are too, and that's not a coincidence really. I still remember in Switzerland, when we lived there, we lived close to a railway line and we often walked along that railway line to a playground. Now in Switzerland, as you can see, there's no fences necessarily between the railway line and the footpaths that run alongside it. Even though trains go at 160 kilometers per hour, it's considered safe, and it is. Anyway, when we went to that playground, my oldest child always called Zug, train, when a train went past, and because a train would come every 3 minutes on average, she called that quite a bit. One day we went through that playground with some friends, children who were a little bit older, maybe 2 years or so, and I noticed the difference because my child would stop and point at the trains whenever one would go past and yell train, train, while for the others they hardly noticed it. And in Switzerland, trains are so common that, well, your children do not notice them so much. So there was this difference. Well, all my children like trains, and in particular my youngest child as well. So that's him here when a train is coming past. Some people would say that it's not right to get children interested in railways so early. Why do I impose my interests on those of my children? But really, because I quite like railways, so I in a sense, want the best for my children, and I want them to, experience their own lives and find their own interests. I also want to give them some great interests along with them, and want to enjoy those moments with them. Also, quite a bit of criticism when Christian parents instill Christian values in their children, when they bring them close to God. Because some people say, well, children should make that choice later in life. But I think if we know what we value, what is important in our own lives, and if we want the best for our children, then it's only natural that we want to introduce them to God, that we want to get them to know Jesus. It is, if we really do have the best interests of our children at heart, then we do that, because in that we find the greatest value, and in that we want them to find their greatest value so that they can realize the full potential of their lives. And we realize that this is the most important thing, getting to know Jesus. And so if we want the best for our children, then we do introduce them to the Christian faith. We introduce them to Jesus. We pray with them, and they become, really involved in all of that. And whether they carry it on in later life or not, at least they have got that basis. They have that sense of relationship with God. And so in that they can see beauty and true value. In Jesus they can find meaning and purpose. And so that's what we want to give them for their lives. And if we are enthusiastic about something, it's so much easier to give it to our children and then also to other people around us. And I think that's part of what the Christian faith is about.